The very first Stone Age tools were made 3.3 million years ago in Kenya before humans even existed. That's right, our ancestors, who weren't even human yet, were smashing rocks together to make sharp edges while T-Rex was still a fresh fossil. Before I tell you more, quick think if these help you sleep, a like or subscribe would be amazing. And I'm curious, drop where you're listening from and what time it is. I saw someone from Tokyo last week saying it was already tomorrow there. Still trying to wrap my head around that. Okay, tonight it's the entire history of the Stone Age. But wait, are you comfortable? No, really. Check. Pillows, blankets, the whole deal. Where we're going, you'll want to be settled. The sun hasn't quite risen yet. The air smells of morning dew, wild grasses, and something else. Fear you're crouched at the edge of a watering hole in East Africa, your hairy knuckles resting on the dusty ground. The water ripples as animals come to drink on the other side, gazelles with their nervous eyes constantly scanning. Your mouth is dry, painfully dry, but something deep inside, instinct probably, tells you to wait. There's a reason the gazelles look so nervous, and there it is, a rustle in the tall grass. The low, rumbling growl of a predator. Unlike your cozy bed right now, there's no safety here, no walls, no door you can lock. Just the wild, dangerous world where everything is either hunting or being hunted. And right now, you're definitely in the being hunted category. See, this is the world of your ancestors from 3.3 million years ago. And when I say ancestors, I don't even mean humans. Humans don't exist yet. You're an Australopithecus, basically a chimp that walks upright. Your brain, about a third the size of yours right now. Your body short, hairy, with arms that hang low, and your chances of surviving past 30, basically 0. The predator, a saber-toothed cat with teeth longer than your fingers, has spotted easier prey than you. It lunges for a gazelle, bringing it down in a cloud of dust and terrified bleating. This is your chance. You dart forward, not toward the watering hole, but toward the kill. Wait, what? You're running toward the massive predator. Here's the thing about your existence. You're hungry. Constantly hungry. Your gut is literally designed to process massive amounts of plants, like pounds and pounds of leaves and stems and seeds every day. But you've started to develop a taste for something better, meat. The problem is you're a terrible hunter. You're not fast. Your teeth aren't made for killing. You don't have claws. What you do have, though, is a pretty decent brain for problem solving and hands. Hands that can hold things, as the cat drags its kill away to eat in peace. You and your small group cautiously approach the spot where it happened. There's blood on the ground, bits of meat. Not much, but to your perpetually hungry body, it's worth the risk. One of your group, let's call her aka because she makes that sound a lot, has a rock in her hand. But it's not just any rock. She smashed it against another rock, creating a sharp edge. And now she's using that edge to cut at the tiny scraps of meat left behind. This doesn't look impressive to your Netflix watching, smartphone scrolling brain. But make no mistake, this is a revolution happening before your eyes. This is the first technology, the first time a living being on this planet deliberately created a tool to solve a problem. The ground is hard and hot under your bare feet. Your stomach aches with emptiness. You grab another rock and mimic what Akka is doing. Smash, examine, smash again until you get a sharp edge. It takes you 15 tries. Your hands are bleeding, but now you have something that wasn't there before, a cutting edge. You cut away a stringy piece of meat from the ground and put it in your mouth. The taste is overwhelming, rich, complex, satisfying in a way that the plants you usually eat never are. Your body is literally flooding with endorphins from this tiny bit of protein. So they're like, what? Using rocks as knives? You're thinking, big deal. Oh, it is a big deal. It's probably the biggest deal in human history because what just happened is that your ancestors found a way to access high-density nutrition that would literally rewire their brains over the next million years. See, meat has something plant food doesn't. Concentrated protein and fat that fuels brain growth. And brains need a lot of energy. Your modern brain uses 20% of your body's energy, while only being 2% of your weight. It's an energy hog, and never have grown. The sun is higher now. The immediate danger has passed. But this is no relaxing day at the beach. This is survival. Minute by minute, your group moves through the tall grass, alert for predators. A child no more than 4 years old clings to his mother's back as she walks. He's watching everything, learning unlike other animals whose brains are mostly developed at birth. Your species is born with underdeveloped brains that continue growing for years. It's a trade-off. Helpless children who take forever to mature, but who can learn complex behaviors. A scream cuts through the air. One of your group, an older female, has spotted a leopard in a tree. Too late, it pounces, landing on a younger male. The chaos is immediate. Your group scatters, climbing the nearest trees with the agility that comes from a body still adapted for life in the branches. Not everyone makes it. The young male is dragged away, his cries fading. You're breathing hard, clinging to a branch. The child next to you whimpering softly. Below the leopard feasts, there's nothing you can do. You have no weapons, no plan, just the instinct to hide and wait. Hours pass. The leopard
leaves. Cautiously, your group reassembles on the ground. There are tear-like sounds, gestures of distress, but no language yet to process what happened. Just the shared trauma and the instinctive, comforting touches between group members. You continue walking. The landscape is a mix of savanna and scattered trees. The perfect environment for a species caught between forest life and ground life. By late afternoon, you reach a small stand of trees beside another watering hole. This is where your group will sleep tonight, up in the branches, safe from most predators. But before climbing up, there's one more thing to do. AKA, the toolmaker has found a dead animal. Some kind of rodent. She's using her stone edge to cut it open to get at the meat inside. Others crowd around, waiting for a share. You find 2 suitable rocks and try again to make a cutting edge. Smash, examine. Smash again. Your coordination is improving. After just 7 attempts, you have a sharp edge. You join the group using your new tool to cut away a piece of meat. The sun is setting now. Your group climbs into the trees, finding the comfortable notches where branches meet trunks. There are no beds, no pillows, no blankets, just the hard bark against your skin. Your full stomach and exhausted muscles help you ignore the discomfort. As darkness falls, you hear the night predators beginning their hunt. Roars, growls, screams in the distance. Up in your tree, you're relatively safe, but sleep comes in fits and starts. Your body never fully relaxing, always ready to wake at the first sign of danger. This is what it means to be one of the first tool users on planet Earth. This is your legacy. The beginning of the story that leads to you lying in your comfortable bed right now. Fast forward 500,000 years. The tools are getting better. Instead of just smashing rocks randomly, your descendants have learned to be more precise, striking at specific angles to create more predictable cutting edges. They're making what archaeologists will later call older tools, simple choppers and scrapers. But something else is happening too. These proto-humans are starting to scavenge more effectively, following predators and waiting for them to finish, then moving in with their stone tools to crack open bones for the nutritious marrow inside, something no other animal can access. Their brains are growing from 400 centimeters in your Oralopithecus skull to 600 centimeters in the new species emerging. The first creature that scientists would actually call human, though just barely. Climate change is happening too. Africa is getting drier, forests shrinking, savas expanding.
These early humans are adapting, becoming more efficient walkers, losing their tree-climbing adaptations. They're committed to life on the ground now, for better or worse. Another 500,000 years passes. We're now around 2 million years ago. A new species has evolved. Homo erectus, upright man, and their revolutionary. Their brains are now around 900 cubic cm, almost 70% of modern size. They look much more human, taller, less hairy, with body proportions similar to yours. But the most incredible thing isn't their bodies, it's what they're doing with those stone tools. Imagine a scene. 10 Homo erectus gathered around a fallen tree. They're not just making simple choppers anymore. They're carefully shaping stones into symmetrical teardrops with sharp edges. All around hand axes. The level of planning and fine motor control required for this is astounding. They're not just reacting to immediate needs. They're creating standardized tools that work for multiple purposes, and they're about to change the world. Because unlike every hominin before them, Homo erectus isn't content to stay in Africa. They're on the move, walking out of their ancestral homeland, spreading across Asia, reaching as far as China and Indonesia. The first great human migration. What makes this possible? Those incredible tools, the ability to adapt to new environments, and something else that will become humanity's signature technology, control of fire. The first evidence of controlled fire use dates back to around 1.5 million years ago. Picture it. Night falling. A group of Homo erectus huddled around a small fire. the flames casting flickering shadows on their faces. For the first time in evolutionary history, darkness doesn't mean vulnerability. It means community, warmth, safety, cooked food that's easier to digest, releasing even more energy for those growing brains. But that's a story for our next section. Your eyelids are getting heavy now in your comfortable bed, safe from predators with your big energy-hungry brain. You're the culmination of millions of years of evolution that started with those first simple stone tools. The ones made by creatures who weren't even human yet. From simple rock to hand axe, from scavenging to hunting, from tree sleep to fire-lit caves, the Stone Age had begun, and it would transform our species in ways no one could have imagined. And as you drift towards sleep, think about this. Every human being who has ever lived, from those first tool makers to you, has looked up at the same stars, felt the same basic needs, feared the same darkness. We are all connected by this shared history, this long journey from stone to civilization. The night is quiet now, except for the sound of your breathing. So different from the terrifying nights your ancestors faced. Sleep well, knowing you carry their legacy in every cell of your body. The fire crackles and pops in the darkness. 6 pairs of eyes stare into the flames, mesmerized. Their faces, too human to be ape, too ape to be human, glow orange in the firelight. One of them, a female with deep-set eyes and strong hands, reaches toward the flames with a stick. The tip catches fire, and there's an audible gasp from the others. She stands holding this burning branch like it's both terrifying and magical, which, let's be honest, it absolutely is. With deliberate steps, she walks to another small pile of wood a few feet away and touches the flame to it. A second fire blooms to life. They've done it. They've tamed fire. It's around 1.5 million years ago, and Homo erectus has just changed the game forever. Before this moment, fire was only something to fear. Lightning strikes, volcanic eruptions, unstoppable destruction. But now it's a tool. Maybe the most important tool ever. A child reaches toward the flames curious. His mother, that same deep instinct to protect that you feel toward your own kids, slaps his hand away with a grunt of warning. He pulls back, crying softly. First fire safety lesson in human history right there. The night is cold. Like seriously cold. A dry season in East Africa can drop to near freezing after sunset. Before fire, these early humans would huddle together, shivering through the darkness, just waiting for dawn. But tonight is different. Tonight, they're warm. One of the males tosses another branch onto the fire. Sparks swell upward into the star-filled sky. The group shifts closer, shoulders touching, that orange glow, turning their skin from its natural brown to something otherworldly. So they just sat around staring at fire all night. You might be thinking, damn right they did, wouldn't you? It's literally the most revolutionary technology they've ever encountered. But fire did way more than just keep them warm. See, raw meat is tough. Your digestive system has to work overtime to break it down. But cooked meat, that's basically pre-digested, more calories with less effort. For a species evolving bigger brains that demanded massive energy, this was like hitting the evolutionary lottery. Fast forward a few thousand years. Fire isn't just something they find and maintain anymore, they can make it 2 sticks, some dried grass, lots of patience, and boom, flames on demand. Security, warmth, cooked food, protection from predators who fear the flames. Meanwhile, those stone tools are getting fancy, like seriously impressive. Imagine a hand axe shaped like a teardrop worked on both sides to create a symmetrical tool with sharp edges all around. These weren't made in minutes.